Hi everyone, it's October 1st, 2012, and I'm in Kansas now. I was just starting to drive to make some appointments today and to take care of some paperwork, getting a haircut and stuff like that. And I just wanted to make a video really quick over an issue that has been going on for about 10 years, but not consistently. Do any of you have past, or I should say recollections of past lives? I do have some. I always have had some. When I was really little, about 2.5 or 3, I can remember having dreams in settings that were something like a slave kitchen, even though at that point I didn't even know what slavery was or anything about ethnic differences, that sort of thing. And later, around the time that I was finishing high school or had just finished high school, my mom was doing, I don't know exactly what you would call it, not really an overseas mission, but she was stationed in Germany for about 7 months, where she was working at a hospital, an American hospital, in a city called Würzburg, which is in Bayern, or as we know it in English, Bavaria. And around that time, I started having lots of visions and recollections of life in maybe not Germany itself, but a German-speaking place, and I'm pretty sure it was Germany, somewhere in the eastern half, like probably Berlin, actually. The first dream I remember having was I was in some kind of studio apartment, flop house kind of place, and you could hear, or I could hear, interrogations going on and getting closer up the corridor towards my unit. And it always involved either kicking a door in or forcing a way in by authorities, and then some screams, and then trailing off. And as the dream ended, it was 1 or 2 units away from me. And then I had several dreams where I was in the United States and everyone's eyes were turning red, and there was some kind of a national socialism taking over everything. And as time went on, people's eyes were turning red more and more, meaning that they had succumbed to whatever sort of movement was happening. And later on, I could see maybe some application in reality from that, because as war started happening in the US, for about 2 or 3 years, it was pretty controversial not to support things that were happening. So some dreams like that were happening. And later, as many of you may know, when I went to Germany for the first time, as soon as I crossed the border, a rainbow appeared, even though there wasn't really any moisture in the air at that time. And I think it's difficult to count how many times I've been there, because I was in Europe just once this year, but I crossed through Germany 3 times, and 7 years ago I went through twice. And always when I'm there, something kind of grips me, and I can remember some things. Well, when the end came, oh, sorry, I'm just distracted by someone pulling up the drive over there. When the end of my last trip happened, it was really sad to go, even though there are a lot of things about that culture that I don't really like. And then finally, in the end, I had to leave because I was running out of days in the Eurozone, or the Schengen zone rather. And as time went on, I've still, even though I've never gained fluency in the language, I've taken a lot of interest in it, and the words really resound with me. I might have to leave because people in the Midwest are very suspicious of any kind of unaccounted for, it's almost like there's no loitering of any kind here. Anyway, so over the last few weeks I've had time to watch a lot of foreign films, and I've started to try to just basically expand my vocabulary a little bit this way. And I've been having dreams about Germany again, but I can't really recall them when I wake up, and I couldn't tell you for sure if they were positive or negative, but I think a little bit more negative. And I'm certain that I don't know how old I was in that last life, but that life ended in the 30s and before the war ended. Maybe not even, I may not have even lived through any of the war at that time, because I don't have any, I don't identify with the post-war period there. And so 2 days ago I visited a psychic that I haven't seen in many years, and much of which she told me over the years did manifest later, but always at the time I'm very skeptical of what she says, or I'm not really satisfied with it. And again, that was kind of the case this time. But I just said, in a barrage of questions, as I have done a lot of travel in the last couple of years, what is Germany to me? And she said, oh, it's definitely a past life experience. And I said, does that mean I need to relocate there or do anything? And she said, no, you just have to explore it more and learn from it. And I am inclined to agree with that, as I've done other tarot readings that advise me not to move there, but it's a persistent pull. So, in a drawn-out way, that's sort of my experience with past lives. Sometimes in a tarot reading I can extract that for people, but I don't really specialize in that. And I've heard of mixed results with past life regression. It's my understanding that right now people are more interested in the other side than this side. That's sort of a trend that's reversed in the last 10 years. Anyway, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that, and it's definitely something worth expanding our consciousness of our reality. And there's enough baggage from this life for most of us, so the gravity of the past is quite a bit to deal with as well. Anyway, thank you for watching, and more later. Bye.